Hello, my name is Kirill, and today I'd like to tell you about third-party buggy motors. As you know, the buggy motor is the most powerful model in LEGO at this time. These motors haven't produced for a long time, and that's why this motor is very rare and really expensive now. In addition, it's very difficult to find the buggy motor in new condition. A few months ago I found on AliExpress.com Chinese copy of these motors. The price is 5 times lower than the price of original LEGO motor. So let's compare the Chinese copy and the original motor. First of all, the appearance. These motors are very similar. It's almost impossible to distinguish the copy and the original motor. As you can see, the only one significant difference is built-in wire with power functions connector. And it's cool because you don't need to buy the wire, and it's more reliable without additional 9-volt connector. It's much harder to insert an axis into output XL hole. Let's launch it! The sound is a bit different, but I think it's not important. As you can see, the wire is traced very handy. Now I'll compare the current consumption. I've measured 2 LEGO and 2 Chinese motors. The currents are very similar. Without load we have approximately 200 milliamps. Here I used electroplate to connect multimeter. The dispersion is rather big both in LEGO and in copy motors. Also, I feel ozone produced by Chinese motors. And now let's compare the rotation speed. According to my measurements, without load LEGO motor has 1400 rotations per minute on 9-volt with output. And the Chinese motor has 1500 rotations per minute, and I think it is a significant advantage. Both measurements were done for the slowed output, and the relationship between outputs is the same as in LEGO motors, 17 to 23. The next experiment is about current protection. It's very difficult to activate the protection in LEGO motor, and it's very difficult to stop the shaft. It's much easier to activate protection in Chinese motor, and it is a problem. There is a thermistor inside the motor, and until it won't cool down, it is impossible to run the motor. In addition, there is a big dispersion in thermistor threshold, so some motors are very weak. Let's illustrate it in real experiment with mechanical power. The LEGO motor can lift 1 kg with 1:1 ratio. It is near the limit. Chinese motor's limit is 1 kg with 1:3 reduction. It is approximately 3 times worse than the LEGO motor. Is it game over? I do not recommend to delete protection, but I'll delete it now. We should open the cover and solder out the thermistor. So all what you need is a knife and soldering iron. Let's open the cover. There are 4 latches here, here, and here. It's very easy to open it. So, this is the motor. You can see the capacity and the thermistor. Now we should delete it. I can show you how it works. Now it's short circuit, but if I stop the shaft, so you can see that There are no short circuit now. Let's delete it. The wires are very bad, very thin. Don't know what current can they provide. Now I just connect the wire to the second pad of the motor. So that's all. There are no protection here. Of course the motor works, and all I need is just insert the motor on its place. You can see that there is no protection and it's very difficult to stop the shaft. After this modification, the Chinese motor became even more powerful than the LEGO one, but you should be very careful. One time we lost the motor up to the smoke. The reason isn't clear for me. We have tried to repeat this result, but we only burned the wood. Дымок пошел. Дерево?
Дерево.
So let's summarize the video. A Chinese buggy motor has some advantages. First of all, it is built-in cable with power functions connector. Also, it has a bit higher rotation speed, approximately 100 rotations per minute on slow output. But in the same time, without any modifications, it is much weaker than the LEGO motor because of built-in protection. But after protection removing, this motor is even much powerful than the LEGO motor. Don't do it if you have not enough experience in LEGO Technic. You can damage your model, burn the motor, or maybe not only the motor. So this is all for today. I hope this video will be useful for you. Thanks for watching. Bye!